Hello, people. It's Tuesday, the 3rd of October. Up a little bit later than yesterday. It's about 9:16 in the morning. Cheers. Yesterday, I started the video with music in the background that I did not identify. I did it on purpose because I wanted to see if anyone noticed the music. It was indeed a track called Green Life from my latest CD, um, Interlude, which I sure hope that some of you folks are going to buy some on Bandcamp Friday. I could use your support. But even more importantly, want people to listen to this music because it's damned good. It's not rock. And if you want to call it background music, well, call it, but use it, listen to it, let it enrich you. That's why I made it. For me, I needed this music. I need this music. Okay. So what's up today? Well, housework. Um, if it doesn't rain too soon, it's a little cloudy. Might get out there and do hopefully my last lawn mow of the season. We'll see. I've got my Icky Blossoms t-shirt on. Band out of Omaha that tried to blow up a little bit. I helped to write the first hit. It wasn't a hit. It was sort of a hit on their first album. I helped to write it. Credited, but couldn't get publishing. I tried to. I've talked about it. So, someone asked me, do I wake and bake? I used to. Now, and for a long time, I was dubbed a bald head Rasta by a Rasta from Jamaica who was in the Gladiators, Mellow Man. Not about the religion, but about the use of ganja. I like marijuana. Smoke it fairly regularly, but it's not a wake and bake thing like when I was a kid, where you're just trying to get yourself tortured. It's part of my lifestyle. That's really what it is. So it's not necessary. Maybe I'll smoke on a day, maybe I won't. So no wake and bake. What I love is the fact that it doesn't matter if I'm high or not. Music is magical. What do I have here to show you? Yesterday I worked on not a new piece of music, but basically making sure my studio is in shape. I have a session with Hank Red this week, and we really haven't gotten much done yet because I'm just trying to help him get his situation together at his house. But we're getting together here this week, Thursday. Hopefully we'll actually do a session rather than just talk and grouse about technical stuff, because I'm trying to help him get his recording set up together at his house. Hank Red famously worked with Stevie Wonder. So this got played a little bit yesterday. Walter Bishop Jr. Choral Keys on the collectible Black Jazz label. This is a reissue. I have one original Black Jazz album, I think a Doug Karn album. This is laid back. I mean, quite literally, this is some laid back, nice music with Idris Muhammad, Harold Vick, and Woody Shaw is on here. So there's some tasty playing. It's not fire jazz at all. This is, in a way, I'd call this feel-good black music. Real good album. I was grabbing an album and I'm going to play today because I saw the PBS special about her last week, and Angelique Kidjo. But when grabbing that, next to it was this. Interesting, not interesting, but serendipity that I was talking about black jazz and listening to it yesterday, and here's another black jazz title. Calvin Keys, Proceed with Caution. Another connection is Calvin Keys is originally from Omaha, Nebraska. This is one of those reissues where they did the swirl. Nice. I've actually played music with Calvin Keys, and there's a recording of it. I tried to get a copy of it. I haven't been able to get it. I did okay on one track, and then they called a tune that I did not know. I don't know how to read. So I flubbed a part of Killer Joe. I'd never played it before. I got so nervous I couldn't just work it out on the spot. And then Shabaka, brilliant keyboardist, was trying to shout out to me the chords. It didn't help because I don't. And that was my response at the jam. So it's a slightly embarrassing, but I made it through. We kept playing, and I finally cobbled, the refrain together. But that was with Calvin Keys and Curly Martin on drums. That's some good music. But the album I'm going to listen to some more today is Angelique Kidjo's version of Remain in Light, where she basically confirms that Talking Heads were on the right track with their use of African rhythms. And this is badass. I could be tempted to say that she outdoes the Talking Heads, but the fact of the matter is that she's African. It's her direct heritage. And so she takes it back to the homeland on this album. And this album is badass. Roger Simonson, who I've mentioned in recent as a friend and fellow collector, gave this to me when it came. It's, again, when people give me stuff, it blows me away. Always, it does. I love it. But this is good. And there was a program about her on PBS, and I do remember Angelique Kidjo when I first encountered her back in the 80s through the TV program World something. I forget the name of it. It came out of England, and it was on Bravo cable. Anybody remember the Bravo channel, which I really liked when it was happening? But she is quite a force, and I was, brought up to snuff about her history and what she's done for helping to bring to the Western world modern African music. And African music is, to my perception, still growing in popularity and importance in the Western music world, since that's what everything is based out of. So I plan to get into that more deeply today. I was thinking if I heard from Mike Dawson, mentioned that he liked Novalis, and I have a couple more here. Let me see what else I have. Congratulations, Mike. I've been wanting to get a review in The Wire, and I guess I'm just not cool enough, or maybe I don't know the right person, but congratulations. And I did say quite honestly, yeah, I'm jealous. That's something I would like. It's to be reviewed or mentioned in The Wire magazine and Mojo. Those are two little, they're not quite bucket lists, but they're things that I would like to have happen. Kudos to you, to Michael, because your music deserves it. But it made me think of, you were mentioning Novalis. Let me see what else I have by him, but in pulling that, I get Nucleus Elastic Rock original on Vertigo. This is one of the records that was given to me by the Reese brothers, who I keep talking about in my history. The Air Force brats who I met my senior year of high school when they moved back to the U.S. from France. And they turned me on to cosmic German rock music, Genesis, Faust, Gong, and Nucleus. This was, I don't know if it was Paul or Jerome's album. But Damage, it's a die cut. I've had this since I was 17 or 18. Love this album. John Marshall on drums, Chris Spedding on guitar. A lovely, lovely album. What's next as I move down towards my Novalis? The Nuclear Regulatory Commission Reactor. Oh, there's some story about this band. I think it's all here on the back. It's sort of new wavy sounding. There's a particular song in here that I like. Which one is it? I think it's Generator. Pretty cool though. Unique sound. It's pretty cool. Here's an album that I bought. It was just, I couldn't make sense of what it is. Still can't really find any information about this. November Symphonie. This seems to be something related to something in Germany, art, Fluxus possibly. This is not musical, not really. It's a very interesting artifact. And Berliner Music Workshop, 1973. If anyone sees this, I don't think I've ever shown this before, okay? So here's one for you. If anyone knows anything about this record or these people, what this is about, I'd love to hear it, because I haven't looked for a few years, but when I did try to look this up online and on Discogs, I don't remember finding much of anything at all. Once again, I don't even need to go to the record store to, okay, let me set that aside because I need to listen to that. We're getting down there to my Novalis. I got a couple to show, but in the NO section, here's one from Record Store Day, Novos Baianos, reissue. Brazilian group that I did not know about, Acabou, Chorarc. This is really good people music. I don't speak the language, so I can't really speak, on this. Nice. Apparently, an important label out of Brazil, Som Libre. I don't have any original Som Libre albums. Makes me think of the band Som Imaginario. Been wanting to get any of their records forever. Never see them. November Group. Persistent Memories. This was a band, Digital Sex. We covered their song Heart of a Champion. I don't know how I got turned on to this album, but when it came out, I somehow found out about it, bought it, and really got into it. Still like it. It's dated, it's 80s, but Digital Sex, we popularized the song here in Omaha. People thought it was ours because no one knew it, but we played it really well. And this is a good EP, Persistent Memories. So here's I've got I've got 4 Novalis albums along with this one, which I showed yesterday. Where Schmetterling lachen hort. I have that one. I love this cover. Brandung. Yeah, I popped that plastic on this baby because this is a gatefold beauty. This is a gatefold beauty. Look at that. That's tight. That's a beautiful painting. This is a good album. I can't hear it in my head, but I can remember that I like this one. Good cover. I was wondering if I had the one you mentioned, Mike, if you see this, and yes, I do. Samarabend. Oh, this has got a plastic that, oh, see? This is the example where records sit for a long time, and these are degrading to a degree. This just, I barely grabbed it and it tore. So this is, that's trash. Again, no regrets. Having bought all those Blake sleeves, I've enjoyed them for well over 10 years. But this again, beautiful cover. Oh man. See, I forget. It's not a metronome, but it's a green brain. And the green brains are the more collectible edition of the label. I maintain that the design of the label that followed the green is based on Lou Reed's. It looks like Lou Reed to me. Metal Machine music era. It may not be Lou Reed, but that's what it looks. That face, that profile, that's exactly what it reminds me of and kind of looks like. If you haven't picked up on it, I have a mutual appreciation going on and a respect for Mr. Michael Dawson, Mr. Michael P. Dawson. Let me just go ahead and put that on record. And I also have this by Novalis. This is a space Vertigo. It's on Vertigo. Neumond. This is where it's a little more pop, but this is still good. This is what's interesting to me is some bands like the Nectar album, Magic as a Child, a commercial ploy that is just, I think, really a terrible album. This is hardly progressive, kind of midstream rock pop sound, but it's really rather good. Rather good. That's all I have by Novalis, but the next album in line alphabetically is Nova 1, which I recently bought. This is a rock album from the 60s that I remember seeing this cover when I was a kid, always wondered about it. This is really quite good. Quite good. So other than that, I'm watching the news. I'm not talking about it because things are so insane, when it comes to politics, but I'm watching to see if any semblance of order, mature thinking, and justice comes out of all the proceedings that are happening that are just have nothing to do with running the country or helping us with our problems. I'm watching it. There's nothing to say, though. It's just madness. So, vive la musique. Vive la love and friendship. Hope you're all doing okay. And I'll just stop there, okay?